So, Montague, we've been talking about beloved community, and I'd love to hear your sense of what this actually can look like in the church for young people. And I'll name a bias that I hold that even though I'm a local church pastor and fully believe in the church and its importance, I don't think the church always gets this right. And I think
Mm.
sometimes it really gets it wrong. What's your experience been with this? What does beloved community look like for young people in the church?
Yeah, let me work backwards on that and just say, yeah, sometimes we do talk about the church as if it fully is what it ought to be and what it's called to be. And I think it's most helpful if we acknowledge that the church is spirit empowered to live and be a particular way, and that the church is called to live and be a witness to a particular way of life. And that particular way of life is the beloved community. What this looks like in a congregation. Well, one thing that's important to know that it's impossible. It's possible for a congregation to be a microcosm of beloved community. And so it's possible for a congregation to live its life in a way where people across lines of difference are advocating for each other, and where there is a trust in the spirit to be all about being in deep community with the very people that society says you shouldn't want to be in community with them. Uh, I lean on some work from Willie Jennings and also Carrie Day's recent book, Notes of a Native Daughter. Uh, Both scholars tend to look at this, talking about the Spirit's call upon us to move toward the people society rejects, and not just move toward, but with a deep desire for community, for intimacy, meaning community, like deep community. Um, and the reality is, once again, that's not a simple thing. That takes trust. One way this looks, one way this can take shape in a congregation is through people of different generations really taking time to learn from each other, to hear from each other, hear each other's stories, honor each other's stories. Another way this takes shape is when a congregation points that outward and takes time to learn the deep stories of the communities surrounding them and the communities that they often stay away from. Uh, Once again, beloved community pushes back on status quo. So those who experience marginalization in society, uh, if those who experience marginalization in society feel a deep sense of welcome, feel a deep sense of significance in a congregational life, we have a sign that this congregation is moving in the direction of beloved community. And offering for young people an invitation into the way of life we're called to live. It's a shift away from thinking about ministry with young people as just how to get young people into the church, how to get young people to agree to particular doctrinal ideas, and then how to share that with somebody else. This is more about how to live a particular way of life that all people were created to live, and allowing the church to be a place where young people get to try their hand at the meaning of life.